YouTubers, Gemma Jimby here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I thought it might be cool to go through what I do to prepare for a bike tour, which is my main type of cycling that I do. So it is Hunt 1000 season, and that ride is a ride 1,000 kilometers from Canberra to Melbourne. So there'll be a lot of people out there in the backcountry this time of year. It is a absolute punish of a ride, and I've done it a few times now, yet to complete it, and it's just an absolute nightmare of a ride. Nice to look back on, not that good to do it. I haven't had a look at the route this year, and it looks like a great route, so if you are doing it, power to you, and you're gonna have a nice time. Personally, I want to change. It's not really the riding that I'm looking for at the moment. I'm looking to do longer hours in the saddle and to work some endurance fitness. So I am gonna go in the same direction as them, but I'm gonna find more gravel roads that have been graded a little bit more. Something that's a little less hike a bike. I mean, we're in Australia, so you're gonna be hiking your bike. It's just not as well maintained or graded as you would get in the US or in Europe. So I'm going to be riding my new Bombora, which is going to be the bike that I'm looking to do some more gravel racing on. My first attempt at a race is going to be the end of February in Arizona with the Ruta del Jefe. That is organized by my friend Sarah, and I'm really looking forward to that. So with that in mind, I don't have a super organized route. So normally when I'm going on bike tour, I'll do sort of like one of three things, I guess. Wing it, maybe one of four things. Wing it and just go in a direction. That's kind of always fun. You can use an established route that you know of or that is online, like Ride with GPS or Strava. You can create your own route, which is a bit risky for me because in Australia you are just going to find yourself on walking tracks. If you're looking to get out and find some really nice roads, you're going to take a gamble and you're going to be sort of at dead ends, and maps are a little bit not very reliable. So I'm going to do an established route from Sydney to Canberra. It's called the Attack of the Buns, and it'll get me pretty close to Canberra. It should be a pretty nice ride. It's got lots of nice water. It'll be a good opportunity to warm my legs up. And once I'm at Canberra, I know some nice routes that can get me out of Canberra. That is going to find me on some gravel. It's going to take me into the snowy mountains. And then from there, I should be able to start finding some really good wilderness maps, which will help me pick which roads that are going to go south in the most efficient way, that don't look like they're going to meander, or they don't look like they might be closed or just not well used. So the paper maps, I think, are going to be a really good idea for me. You can just spend so long on Google Maps, Google Images, trying to find where the roads are rideable, where paper maps, I think, are really reliable for ones that are going to be through roads and things like that. So that is my plan for this year. An established route that I'm going to be doing with friends that'll warm me up, and then when I get to Canberra, I'm going to find some paper maps that I'm going to use to travel southwards, hopefully finding some nice gravel. I'm imagining I'm going to be riding on a highway every now and again. That is fine. I don't care about that. I am going to make sure that I've got plenty of music on my device. So with my setup, what I'm going to do, because the Bombora has got very similar geometry to the Evasion, a lot of my bags are going to be able to fit just fine. This is the frame bag that I've been using for a long time. It's from Hoop Ventures. It's really good. It's got a nice wide opening, so I can sort of dig through there without being blind. And I can really find things pretty easily. And that, so I'm going to be using that, and I've got two feed bags at the front that's just going to be carrying water. One is going to be a Nalgene, which is a litre capacity, and then one is going to be a sippy top, because I actually normally carry two Nalgenes, so it's got 2 litre capacity at the front, which is great, like so much water, but you have to stop, twist the top off the Nalgene, and then you can drink. So I want to be stopping less. I think it'd be better for creating better habits, just not stopping, so I can drink from a sippy cup while I'm riding. So then I'm going to have a front rack. It's going to have a Swift Industries Ozette, which I've never used one before, so this is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. These bars are quite narrow, so I don't have a roll top or like a Fabios chest that I can put in there. So then I'll have a front rack, and then I'm going to hopefully have enough clearance to put in another liter underneath on the down tube. And then I'm also going to have a back rack. So this back rack I mostly just use to support my Zeitgeist bag on the back, which is hung from the saddle. And if I don't have a support, it sort of swings around too much, and I don't really like that. So you can have, there are racks that do a nice support that's a little bit more minimal. They're sweet, I just don't have one. So I'm just going to put on a back rack. And it also means that I can put another liter Nalgene underneath in between the saddle, the seat post and the rack. And I just like volley strap that on, and that's another liter, so that's pretty good. And it means I can kind of overstuff the Zeitgeist bag as well because it's got this support, so I like that. Probably not going to look amazing, but whatever. And so that is it. That'll mean I'll have 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, and then like a 750 ml sippy bottle. So that's almost 4 liters of water, which I think would be enough. So on that, I guess, I do, when I'm preparing a ride, you have to think about things like resupply and water is my main things. So I will cross-reference the maps and make sure that I'm crossing some water every now and again. Australia is in a pretty chronic drought, so the rivers might not be in great shape, but we do have come out of winter just now, so the snow melt should plump up the rivers and they should still be running pretty well. But I do think that 4 liters for me at this type of ride, which is I'm going to be crossing distance faster than I normally would. Normally I'd probably average out like 30 or 40 miles a day. I'm hoping to do like more like 50 or 60. Let's see how I go. So it's, without knowing the terrain properly, it's hard to gauge. So, but I'm just really looking to work on my fitness for this one. So that's my motivation to keep going. Like, I'm out there trying to plump up my ass and my thighs, and to kickstart my training regime for the summer in time for February. So what I've done is, I'm not normally super precious about my bikes, but I have taped up underneath these Velcro straps to try to avoid any scuffing of the paint job, because this is a fresh bike and I'm just not ready to let it get super worked yet. Okay, so I'm just going to pack my bike up now, and now that you know what trip I'm going to go on, I'm going to put it in another video to say what I'm bringing on my trip.